You know, there's a side to public life, especially here in Malaysia, that we often just skim over. We focus so much on the policies, the big speeches, the back and forth in Parliament, and yeah, that stuff matters. Of course it does, but we rarely stop to think about the really deep personal impact it can have. How it doesn't just affect the politician, but their family, their kids. I mean, just try to picture it. You're out doing something totally normal, maybe shopping, and suddenly your family, your child, is caught in the crosshairs. It's a kind of fear most of us just can't really grasp, and that's become incredibly relevant because today something really serious happened right here. Rafizi, who's obviously a major figure on the political scene, has confirmed his own son was attacked in broad daylight. Apparently he was dragged and then stabbed with a syringe by strangers at a shopping center in Putrajaya. It just makes you pause, doesn't it? It makes you wonder what something like this really means for, how we talk about politics and, frankly, how safe people are when they're connected to it. What are your thoughts on this? It's something we're definitely trying to process ourselves today.
Yeah, it's deeply concerning. And what strikes me immediately is the boldness of it all. The apparent calculation behind it. This happened around, 1:45 p.m. today in a public shopping center in Putrajaya. Not exactly hidden away, is it? It's just they weren't too worried about being seen, or maybe that was part of the point.
Exactly. The audacity.
And the details Rafizi shared.
Well,
they're chilling. He said his wife and son were just getting into their car.
right.
And this man just appears, grabs the son, and stabs him with a syringe.
God, that's terrifying.
And then there's this other detail. Initial checks apparently showed 2 people on motorbikes had been following his wife's car beforehand.
Following them. So, surveillance.
Certainly points that way.
Yeah.
Suggests prior planning, reconnaissance maybe.
Yeah.
It really makes it feel less like a random act and more targeted.
Okay, yeah, let's try and unpack that. The speed, the location, it's jarring. And Rafizi, of course, did what any parent would got his son straight to University Putra Malaysia Hospital. You can only imagine that drive, the absolute panic, just focusing on getting help.
Absolutely. Priority 1.
And the police, the Royal Malaysia Police, they were there pretty quickly too, which is good. They've already taken statements from Rafizi and the family, so the investigation is moving. We're expecting more details, hopefully, from the police and the hospital as things progress. That clarity will be really important, I think.
It will. And this leads to the really big question, doesn't it? What was the purpose behind this? Rafizi himself called it a pre-planned attack. He didn't mince words.
Yeah.
He pointed out the attackers were dressed all in black, full-face helmets, clearly trying to hide who they were.
Yeah, that's not random street crime attire.
Exactly. It suggests preparation, a chosen method, thinking about escape.
Yeah.
That definitely adds weight to the situation.
And then there's the really heavy part, the part that speaks to the political atmosphere, maybe. Rafizi said very clearly this is the first time his family's been targeted like this in his whole career. He believes it was a warning, a direct message to him, to try and silence him on, quote, certain issues. That's a very serious claim. It takes it beyond just assault into the realm of political intimidation.
It really does. And if you look at the bigger context, it kind of highlights the pressures, the sometimes unseen tactics that can exist in these really intense political environments. The alleged goal here, like Rafizi suggests, might not just be about the physical act itself.
Right. It's the message.
It's about sending a signal, a very blunt one, to create fear, maybe, to make someone think twice about speaking out or pushing certain agendas. Historically, this kind of thing, targeting family, it's a known intimidation tactic designed to create a chill.
A chilling effect, yeah.
And that forces us to think about what this means for, freedom of speech, political participation here in Malaysia, when families become fair game or are perceived as such.
It changes everything.
It really does.
Yeah.
It adds a whole new layer of pressure. It moves things from policy debates, which can be tough but are usually contained, into something much more personal, much more dangerous, potentially. And the risk is people might start holding back. They might worry about their loved ones. That can sort of quietly erode open discussion. Self-censorship becomes a real possibility.
So faced with this, what's Rafizi saying? What's his response? Well, he's been very clear. He's not going to be intimidated.
Right.
He said he'll obviously boost security. I mean, who wouldn't after something like this? It's just practical. But crucially, he also said he's going to keep doing his job, carry on as usual, unbowed.
That's a pretty powerful stance, isn't it? Directly confronting what he sees as an attempt to shut him down.
It is. And thinking about the intention behind an act like this, assuming it was a warning, it's often quite layered. It's probably not just about silencing that one person, Rafizi in this case.
You mean it's broader? Potentially. Yeah. It could be about creating an atmosphere, making other people hesitant. It's a way to try and disrupt the whole flow of open political talk, make it seem riskier for anyone to be too critical or too outspoken. This kind of act, if it's interpreted this way, it's psychological pressure.
Yeah.
It tries to shift the whole dynamic, doesn't it? Forces public figures to constantly balance their job, their duty, against their own safety, their family's safety. It ups a personal cost significantly.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole incident today with Rafizi's son, it's just such a stark reminder, isn't it? A reminder of the intense pressures, the hidden dangers sometimes that come with being involved in Malaysian politics. It really shines a light on the deeply personal stakes, how quickly public life can invade private safety, family safety. It makes you realize the immense personal price some people pay for stepping into that arena.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it leaves you thinking, what sort of political environment do we actually want here as a country? Do we want one where people feel safe to debate, to criticize, to speak out without this kind of fear hanging over them, where discussion thrives? Or, do we risk heading towards a place where silence just feels like the safer bet for anyone with a strong opinion? That would diminish our democracy, wouldn't it? How we respond to things like this collectively, I think that really shapes the answer.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.